ಗಗನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಪ ಗರುಡ ದೇವನೆ ತೋರಗ ಗಗನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಪ ಗರುಡ ದೇವನೆ ತೋರಗ ಜಗತೀಧರ ಶೇಷ ಪರ್ಯಂಕ ಶಯನ ಗಗನದಲ್ಲಿ ಸಂಚರಿಪ ಗರುಡ ದೇವನೆ ತೋರಗ ಜಗತೀಧರ ಶೇಷ ಪರ್ಯಂಕ ಶಯನ ನಿಗಮ ಗೋಚರ ನಮ್ಮ ನಿಗಮ ಗೋಚರ ನಮ್ಮ ಪುರಂದರ ವಿಠಲಗಲ್ಲದೆ ಮಿಗಿಲಾದ ದೈವಗಳಿಗೆ ಭಾಗ್ಯ ಉಂಟೇ ಈ ಪರಿಯ ಸೊಬಗಾವ ದೇವರಲಿ ನಾ ಕಾಣೆ ಈ ಪರಿಯ ಸೊಬಗಾವ ದೇವರಲಿ.
ನಮಃ ಪರಮಋಷಿಭ್ಯೋ ನಮಃ ಪರಮಋಷಿಭ್ಯಃ. ಹರಿ ಓಂ. ಯಸ್ಯಾಂತರ್ನಾದಿಮಧ್ಯಂ ನಹಿ ಕರಚರಣಂ ನಾಮಗೋತ್ರಂ ನ ಸೂತ್ರಂ ನೋ ಜಾತಿರ್ನೈವ ವರ್ಣಾ ನ ಭವತಿ ಪುರುಷೋ ನ ನಪುಂಸಂ ನ ಚ ಸ್ತ್ರೀಂ ನಾಕಾರಂ ನೋ ವಿಕಾರಂ ನ ಹಿ ಜನಿಮರಣಂ ನಾಸ್ತಿ ಪುಣ್ಯಂ ನ ಪಾಪಂ ತತ್ವಂ ನೋ ತತ್ವಮೇಕಂ ಸಹಜ ಸಮರಸಂ ಸದ್ಗುರುಂ ತಂ ನಮಾಮಿ. ಸದಾಶಿವಸಮಾರಂಭಾಂ ಶಂಕರಾಚಾರ್ಯಮಧ್ಯಮಾಂ ಅಸ್ಮದಾಚಾರ್ಯಪರ್ಯಂತಾಂ ವಂದೇ ಗುರುಪರಂಪರಾಂ. ಮೌನವ್ಯಾಖ್ಯಾ ಪ್ರಕಟಿತಪರಬ್ರಹ್ಮತತ್ವಂ ಯುವಾನಂ ವರಿಶಿಷ್ಟಾಂತೇವ ಸದೃಶಿಗಣೈಃ ಆವೃತಂ ಬ್ರಹ್ಮನಿಷ್ಠೈಃ. ಆಚಾರ್ಯೇಂದ್ರಂ ಕರಕಲಿತಚಿನ್ಮುದ್ರಮಾನಂದರೂಪಂ ಸ್ವಾತ್ಮಾ ರಾಮಂ ಮುದಿತವದನಂ ದಕ್ಷಿಣಾಮೂರ್ತಿಮೀಡೆ. वेदान्तार्थविभासकाय यतये शान्ताय सन्न्यासिने नानावादिनगेन्द्रसङ्घपवये योगीन्द्रवन्द्याय च मोहध्वान्तदिवाकराय भगवत्पादाभितां बिभ्रते तस्मै भाष्यकृते नमोऽस्तु सततं पूर्णाय बोधात्मने अपारसच्चित्सुखवारिराशेः यस्योर्मिमात्रं भुवनं समस्तं गुहाहितं तं रमणं गभीरं चिन्ताविहीनं हृदि चिन्तयामि। देहं मृण्मयवज्जडात्मकमहं बुद्धिर्न तस्यास्त्यतो नाहं तत्तदभावसुप्तिसमये सिद्धात्मसद्भावतः कोऽहं भावयुतः कुतो वरधिया दृष्ट्वात्मनिष्ठात्मनां सोऽहं स्फूर्तितया अरुणाचलशिवः पूर्णो विभाति स्वयं स्थापकाय च धर्मस्य सर्वधर्मस्वरूपिणे अवतारवरिष्ठाय रामकृष्णाय ते नमः। पवित्रं चरितं यस्याः पवित्रं जीवनं तथा पवित्रतास्वरूपिण्यै तस्यै देव्यै नमो नमः। नमः श्रीयतिराजाय विवेकानन्दसूरये सच्चित्सुखस्वरूपाय स्वामिने तापहारिणे योऽन्तः प्रविश्य मम वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्नाम् अन्यांश हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान्नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। जन्माद्यस्य यतोऽन्वयादितरतश्च अर्थेष्वभिज्ञस्वराट् तेने ब्रह्महृदाय आदिकवये मुह्यन्ति यत्सूरयः तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषां धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि कस्मै येन विभासितो यमतुलो ज्ञानप्रदीपः पुरा तद्रूपेण च नारदाय मुनये कृष्णाय तद्रूपिणां योगीन्द्राय तदात्मनाथ भगवद्राताय कारुण्यतः तच्छुद्धं विमलं विशोकम् अमृतं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मः प्रोज्झितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्सराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनं श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैः ईश्वरः सद्यो हृद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषिभिस्तक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबद भागवतं रसम् आलयं मुहुरहो रसिकाः भुवि भावुकाः यं प्रव्रजन्तमनुपेतमपेतकृत्यं द्वैपायनो विरहकातर आजुहाव पुत्रेति तन्मयतया तरवोऽभिनेदुः तं सर्वभूतहृदयं मुनिम् आनतोऽस्मि यस्वानुभावमखिलश्रुतिसारमेकम् अध्यात्मदीपम् अतितितीर्षतां तमोन्धं संसारिणां करुणयाः पुराणगुह्यं तं व्याससूनुमुपयामि गुरुं मुनीनां नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत् सच्चिदानन्दरूपाय विश्वोत्पत्त्यादिहेतवे तापत्रयविनाशाय श्रीकृष्णाय वयं नुमः। ध्येयं सदा परिभवग्नमभीष्टदोहं तीर्थास्पदं शिवविरिञ्जिनुतं शरण्यं भृत्यार्तिहं प्रणतपालभवाब्धिपोतं वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दं त्यक्त्वा सुदुस्त्यजसुरेप्सितराज्यलक्ष्मीं धर्मिष्ठ आर्यवचसा यदगादरण्यं मायामृगं दयितयेप्सितमन्वधावत् वन्दे महापुरुषते चरणारविन्दम् सत्यव्रतं सत्यपरं त्रिसत्यं सत्यस्य योनिं निहितं च सत्ये सत्यस्य सत्यं ऋतसत्यनेत्रं सत्यात्मकं त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नाः. So in our Srimad Bhagavata Satsanga Parampara, now we have just started the conversation between Uddhava and Bhagavan Krishna. Uddhava, the great devotee of Krishna, Bhaktam Ekantinam, is a Ekanta Bhakta. Such a great devotee is asking for Upadesha to Krishna. In fact, he was not asking for Upadesha. He is experiencing the presence of Bhagavan. Constantly he is with Krishna. Shayyasanatana snana krida ashanadishu katham tvam priyamatmanam vayam bhaktaha tyajemahi. Vayam bhaktaha, we are all devotees. So we are all living with you. Shayyasana, atana, sthana, snana, krida. When you are lying down, I am also lying down near you. When you sit, I am standing near you. When you take bath in Yamuna or in the sea there in Dwaraka, I am also with you. And when you are playing, in your sport also I am a part with you. When you are eating, I take your uchishtam. Whatever is left by you, I am eating only that. In such a way, I have crossed Maya. Uddhava says, Tvayopabhukta sragandha vasolankara charchitaha uchishta bhojino dasaha tava mayam jayemahi. This Maya is very difficult to cross. Such a difficult Maya we have crossed by your uchishta, by your grace, by constantly staying with you, having that presence, that joy of bhakti, we have crossed Maya, says Uddhava. And there are sages who eat only air, Vatarashanaha. These are all great sages who take only air, only prana. They don't eat food. Shramanaha urdhvamantyanaha brahmakyam dhamate yanti shantaha sannyasino malaha. We are all just samsari, worldly people. How will we cross? Tvadvartaya tarishyamaha. By your upadesha, by your meditating on your life, we will cross samsara. Smarantah kirtayantaste kritani gaditani cha gatyutsmita ikshanakshveli yandraloka vidambanam. See, Sri Ramakrishna, Sharada Devi, Ramakrishna's disciples, they have lived long back, about a century, more than a century back. But even now, devotees are coming in that lineage by reading Gospel of Ramakrishna, talks, Swamiji's talks, And so many literature has come, like they lived with God. There is one book which is very well known all over the world, that householder disciples, family men, ordinary family men, they were all devotees of Ramakrishna. They all got that God experience by staying with Ramakrishna. So the book itself is known as They Lived with God. And the sannyasi, fully renounced direct disciples, their story is God lived with them. God lived with them. So this is all same only. Because when you surrender to God, Mahabali, he surrenders to Vamana. It's a very beautiful shloka in Bhagavata. We have in Gita, Ananyaschintayanto mam ye janah paryupasate tesham nityabhiyuktanam yogakshemam vahamyaham. This anugraha of Trivikrama is like a commentary for that. When Mahabali surrendered to Bhagavan, that is a very beautiful incident in Bhagavatam. Because Vamana came as a small boy and he asked, we know the story, asked for only 3 feet of earth. And he swallowed the entire existence as Trivikrama. And he has taken whatever Mahabali had was just taken away by Lord by 2 feet. And there is no space for the 3rd feet. So he is asking Mahabali, where is the space for 3rd feet? And Mahabali is bound by Varuna Pasha and has been kept there. All the asuras said, no, this is not fair, this is not fair. We have to fight back. We have to fight back with Trivikrama. Then Mahabali says, see, you know who has come before us? The being who appeared from the pillar before Hiranyakashipu, my great grandfather, has appeared before me begging, because I am a devotee. Otherwise he would have come out of a pillar and torn me apart. And whatever we had, this is the most important thing, where Mahabali says, whatever we had was all given by him. When he gives, we all with open hands we receive. But when he takes them away, we say, oh, we have to find some way to protect. So then you go to astrologer, then you go to a counselor, because nobody goes to an astrologer when a person is having all good fortune. Will anyone go? I am having very good things happening in my life. Please look at my jatakam, my astrology chart, and tell what is the parihara. Because everything is, nobody will go. So half of the job of the astrologer is over. Because when you go, he will say you have difficulty. So there is a story, very funny story, where astrologer says, now 19 years it is Shani Dasha for you, Saturn. Then the person asked, after that you will get used to it. So here he says, very beautiful, Mahabali says, when that Kala Purusha comes before you, he just snatches away whatever he has given to you. Then, balena tapasa buddhya durgaihi mantra aushadadibhi samadibirupayaish kalam natyedi vaijanaha. By your balam, by your strength, or even by your practice, tapas, or by your intelligence, counseling or something, sachiva, and by chanting some mystical mantra, you will not transcend. Then what should we do? The asuras ask, just surrender to him. There is a saying, when you have a problem, the easiest way to get out is through it. You have to go through it, surrender, because it is Lord who has appeared before you as this great suffering. So surrender to him. Saying this, Mahabali says, Bhagwan, who will bless us like this? All relatives in the world, they will give us joy by giving us something. Only two people will bless us by taking away things. One is Guru. He will take away your ajnana. By that, he will take away your body, your mind, your ego, everything. Your upadhi is taken away. Like that, Bhagavan also comes and takes away everything. So, when he is taking away, you just surrender to him. The only thing that I have not offered to you, O Lord, is my own ego. Saying this, he surrenders. Kuru Shirshni me padam. Put your feet on my head. So there, Trivikrama says, Vamana Bhagavan says, Rakshishye sarvatoham tvam. Very beautiful verse. You have to, if you can see Bhagavatam and write it there. What Bhagavan says, I will protect you. Rakshishye sarvatoham tvam. In all ways I will protect you. Not only you, whoever follows you, whoever is behind you, them also, they also are protected. Sanugam, saparichadam, and also all that is necessary for you in your life. That also I will give. Should I believe this? Sada sannihitam, I will be felt very near you. Sada sannihitam vira, it is not simple belief. Tatramam drakshyate bhavan. You will see my presence, you will feel my presence, I am with you. All great devotees felt, Bhagavan is with me, Bhagavan's presence is with me. That was felt by all devotees. Whatever may be the difficult period, they felt Bhagavan is with me. So, tatramam drakshyate bhavan. So, this is surrender, complete surrender. So, this kind of surrender can be done by only a great devotee. So, here Uddhava says, Oh Bhagavan, take me also with you. I cannot live without you. Wherever you are going, take me also with you. This viraha is very difficult. This viraha tapa is very difficult. Then Bhagavan said, where can I take you, my dear? All the devas, see, they are standing there calling me back. But I will give you a great blessing. Krishna says, I will give you a great blessing because I love you so much. And there is one verse, very beautiful verse here, where Krishna says, Na tatha me priyatamaha atmayonihi. Even Brahma is not that dear to me. Na Shankaraha, not even Shiva. Na Sankarshanaha, not even Balarama. Balarama is not near, so you can say. Na Balarama, na Shrihi, not even Mahalakshmi, he says, because she is not near. And above that, Krishna says, Nacha Atma, I don't love myself that much as I love you. Yatha Bhavan Uddhava. Because Tvamcha Bhagavateshu Aham. Ekanath Maharaj has written very profound commentary for this Ekadasha Skandha Marathi, where he has written, when Krishna is saying this to Uddhava, suddenly 4 arms came to him to hug Uddhava, to embrace him with so much love, so much bhakt, priyam. So Krishna suddenly became Chaturbhuja Murti. And then said, you are so dear to me, Uddhava, because Tvam cha Bhagavateshu aham. You are Bhagavata. You are a devotee. So, I am giving you the greatest blessing. So, people will be now sitting on the edge of the chair. What is that great blessing? You know what is the great blessing? Sannyasa. He is giving renunciation complete. He says, Tvam tu sarvam parityajya sneham swajana bandhushu mayaveshya manas samyak samadruk vijarasvagam. He says to Uddhava, see, opposite to what was spoken to Krishna, Arjuna. Because Arjuna was ready to go. Krishna held him, said, you cannot go, you have to fight. But here to Uddhava, Bhagavan says, Tvam tu, no compromise, Tvam tu sarvam parityajya, renouncing everything, especially sneham svajana bandhushu, your attachment to your relatives, those who are very near to you, don't get attached to them. Maya veshyamanaha, your mind constantly held in me, meditating on me, as inwardly in the Atmanubhava, outwardly Samadarshitva. People will ask whether we need Samadarshitva or humility. This is a question. So when in the beginning you need humility, and more you go deeper into jnana, you need Samadarshitva. Because any speciality you have somewhere, the mind will operate. Attachment, the mind will operate. Aversion, the mind will operate. Some speciality, the mind will operate. And inside you also, the ahankara, it has two forms. One is doership, kartrutva. The other is enjoyership, bhoktrutva. When it operates in me, here also vikalpa. When the mind goes out and meets other names and forms, their attachment and aversion, there also vikalpa. So no attachment, no aversion, no doership, no enjoyership. Kartrutva, bhoktrutva, raga, dvesha, tyaga. So this is when you attain this state, the mind will remain sama. Otherwise, vishama. Vishama means visama, vigata sama. That balance is lost. Somewhere there is a cause for disturbance. So, Bhagavan, why are you telling this to renounce? Because Uddhava was very old. Krishna is also old. And now, Bhagavan says, the moment I leave, Dwaraka will go underwater. So, Uddhava, renounce. And no, don't look back, people will become all very more and more worse. Kali is coming here, so navastavyam tvayaiveha maya tyakte mahitale. Wherever there is no katha, Bhagavad Katha, where there is no satsanga, you should not stay even a night, a single night. Na tatra divasam vaset. Yoga Vasishta also says this, Bhagavata also says this. Prithu Maharaja says, even if that is Devaloka, I don't want. Where there is no Satsanga, no Bhagavata, no Mahatmas, I don't want to stay anywhere. Suresha Lokopi natat sevyatam. Even if it is Devaloka, I don't want to stay there. So I want place where there will be satsanga. I want a place where there are sajjana padapaha, trees with shades, like that sajjana, sadhus who will give you that shade of peace, that shanti. So, here Krishna says, leave Dwaraka. After that period, recently they have unearthed Dwaraka. Inside the sea there, they see all the city of Krishna. So, Krishna says on the seventh day, Dwaraka will go under water. That is why Saptaha, Somebody asked, why Bhagavata Saptaha, 7 days? Because only 7 days are there. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Takshaka has to come any of these days. And Takshaka means what? Serpent. That serpent is Mrityu, death, which is there before all of us. It is there before all of us. So Krishna is telling Dwaraka will go under. It is not simply for Uddhava. At least for Uddhava and Parikshit, 7 days are there. We are not sure, don't fear. But we are not sure whether the breath that goes out will come back. Nishvase nahi vishwasaha. The breath goes out. We do not know whether it will come back. So you should be so urgency should be there to realize ayur nashyati pashyatam pratidinam yatikshayam yavvanam pratyayanti gataha punanna divasaha kalo jagadbhakshakaha lakshmi toya taranga bhanga chapala vidyuchalam jeevitam tasmat mam karunakara karunaya tvam raksha rakshadhuna idanimeva raksha. You have to protect me now, because my life is running fast, ebbing away. Yatikshayam yavvanam, youth is all going, old age is coming inside. Pratyayanti gataha, the gone days are gone, you cannot bring them back. Kalo jagadbhakshakaha, the great eater, swallower is time, and time is swallowing our life, world. Lakshmi, money, it will not stay. It will just fast, it will go away. Taranga bhanga chapara, like a wave, like bubbles, it will just disappear. One day you see a big rich person, another day he is just a poor beggar. In Malayalam, there is a beautiful song of Pundanam, where he says, Maliga mugaleriya mannande tolil marapangakunnatum bhavan. He says the manna, the king who is in the palace, is in the top of the palace, and suddenly you see he is going there with a torn sack in his shoulder, begging for food. One day you see him like that. That is the difficulty. So, seeing this, the person should wake up. He should wake up, know the urgency for spiritual inquiry, the seriousness of spiritual life. It is not entertainment. It is not another place where you can become a big person, a famous person. You can become famous. If you want to become famous, better go and act in some cinema. You will be much more well known than any other field. Spiritual life, you become aware of what is around you. Death. Death means not simply the last death. Attachment is death, old age is death. Anything that limits you is death. As Brihadaranyaka Upanishad says, Mrityoho Rupani. Wherever you are attached, it is all forms of death. In Ramayana, there is a shloka, Sahaiva Mrityuhu Vrajati. Mrityu is walking with you. Saha Mrityuhu Nishidhati. When you sit, death is also sitting near you. Gatva Sudirgamadhvanam. You walk a little distance, death also will follow. We came to hear Bhagavatam, all death, death, death. Because without death, divinity will not come. Death is one side, the divine is another side. Amritam chaiva mrityuscha sadasachaham Arjuna. Bhagavan says in Gita, this side is amritatva, immortality. This side is death. Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi suddenly one day felt he is going to die. And he did not ask anyone. He just laid down, stretched his body and imitated death. Felt that the body is dead. It will be taken to the crematorium, will be burnt. He had a vision of that burning. And the body is all burnt. And am I the body? Suddenly arose this question, am I the body? The body is all burnt and it is all ashes. Something else is shining within as I, aham, aham. The full force of my existence is luminous in the heart. That is me. I am that Atma. This inquiry, intense feeling of death on one side and intense intimate experience of immortal self on the other side. So it is, you can call it death experience, you can also call it no death experience. You explore what is death and find out there is no death. But unless you explore, death will be there, always threatening you. Whatever you may achieve, it will be there, laughing at your achievements, laughing at your attainments. So, nothing, all big kings, great conquerors, everyone died. There is a funny shloka that a king caught hold of a thief, and the thief was a scholar. And he was actually not a thief, but the king thought he is a thief and he was going to be hanged. The king said, "You will be hanged." The thief laughed. King said, "Why are you laughing?" "I will tell you a shloka, Bhattir nashtaha, Bharaviswopi nashtaha, Bhikshur nashtaha, Bhimasenopi nashtaha, Bhukuntoham, Bhupatisthvam cha rajan, Babbhavalyam antakas sampravishtaha." He said, there was a great poet called Bhatti. He died. And Bharavi was also a great poet. He also died. And there was an unknown beggar, Bhikshu. He died. And there was a great eater, strong person, Bhimasena. He also died. So now you see, Ba, Bi, and my name is Bhukunta. I am a thief. So Bhukundoham, and now Bhu. And next what? Bhupati. You are the next person. Bhupati Stvam cha rajan. Now death, Yama is catching hold of people in alphabetic order. And now next he will catch hold of you. You will also die. So the king said, better release him. Don't kill him. So this is the thing. So like that, death is there before you, laughing at all your achievement. Mrityu sarvaharaschaham. So the all swallower, the death is there before. When you see that, you wake up. That is the story of Nachiketa. He saw death. Yama said, I will give you everything. Whatever you want in this world, I will give you. And Nachiketa laughed. What for? Ima Ramaha, Sarataha, Saturyaha, Nahidrisha Lambaniya Manushyehi. You can have all these things. Nachiketa said, you will take away everything one day. You are Antaka. So I want only that Atma Vidya, the knowledge of the self, nothing else. So this is what here Krishna also says, Uddhava, everything will disappear. Everything will come to an end. So now is the time to wake up. So Uddhava, Tvam tu sarvam parityajya, sneham swajana bandhushu, maya veshya manas samyak. Let your mind stay in me. Samadrik as a samadarshi, vicharasvagam. Bhagavan, this world is so attractive and certain things are there, they disturb my mind. What should I do? Yadidam, first Upadesha of Krishna actually. After that only Uddhava is asking more. First Upadesha itself is complete. Krishna is telling, see, absolute Advaita. No compromise, just complete. Yadidam manasa vacha Chakshurbyam Shravanadibihi Nashwaram Grihyamanam Vai Vidhi Maya Manomayam. Bhagavan said, whatever you are seeing through the eyes, hearing through the ears, smelling through the nose, tasting through the tongue, touching through the skin, it is all Maya Manomayam. It is all a jugglery created by the mind. It is not real, it is all mere illusion, O Uddhava. Nashwaram grihyamanam cha. Either you take it as Nashwaram. If you cannot believe that it is illusion, you will know that it will come to an end. Whatever great thing you get, one day it will disappear. In Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajnavalkya tells his wife, Maitreyi, anything that you get attached to, one day it will give you severe pain and go away from you. This is a law in life. You get deeply attached, the more joyful it is, the more pain it gives. This is an undeniable law. So, better know this. For that you need not keep away. You can involve, you can live your life, but know this principle. Ramakrishna says, when you cut jackfruit, this jackfruit, it contains so much of its milk is very sticky. So once Tiruvannamalai, one foreigner came, he has never seen a jackfruit. He bought a jackfruit and he cut it, opened it, and it all had so much of gum inside. He touched it, it was all in his hands. He had a big beard. He put it there. It was all so sticky. And he tried to do it like this. Hair also became sticky. At last, all mundita shiraska, all tonsured head, everything shaven. Then, after that only somebody told him that you have to put oil in your hand, then only you can cut jackfruit. Then he used to humorously say, whenever I see some tonsured head, I will think he bought jackfruit like me. So Ramakrishna gives the example of jackfruit. He says, before cutting jackfruit, you have to put oil in your hand. Like that, before entering samsara, you attain jnanam. You can have this oil of jnanam so that you will remain nissanga. You just know the tattvam, the truth about the real nature of the self. Asangohyayam purusha. The self is not attached to anything. Nothing can stick to it. The moment you become aware of the real nature of the self and live in the world will not. Another example which Ramakrishna gives is like a fish. Fish in a muddy water. You take the fish out, it will be shining. Not anything attached to it. Like that is a jnani. A Bengali cannot speak for 5 minutes without telling about fish. So that is, Bengal is full of like that. Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni had a debate with a Bengali scholar. His name was Ambika Datta. So they had a vada, and Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni was only 15 years old. And that Ambika Datta was an elderly person, very scholarly person. So when he saw Kavyakanta, very radiant person in Navadvip, in Bengal, he asked, Kayesha. Who is, actually Kavyakanta as a youngster, he asked, when Ambika Datta entered the Sabha, that was a great scholarly Sabha, he came with so much of great pompous. Then he asked, who is this? Kaha asau. Then he said, I am Ambika Datto Nama, one verse, very long verse, where he says, I am the son of divine mother, Ambika Datta. Like that it comes. Then he looks at this youngster and asks, who is this? Kayesha. And Kavyakanta said, Ganapati Riti Kavikulapati. He starts like that. Every second word there is prasa. He says, Ganapati Riti Kavikulapati. Like that a verse comes and it ends, Bhavan tu datta, aham tu aurasa. He says, you are divine mother's datta putra. And I am the aurasa putra of divine mother. He says. So, then he started arguing. One argument was put forward. He said this. At last it became a fight. So Ambika Datta was finding some or the other fault with all the Dakshinatyas, the South Indians. See, South Indians are like this, they are like that. Like that he started doing. Then Ganapati Muni, you know what he did? He said, Asuvyayo vapi vasuvyayo va amina mina vyasanam tyajanti. He said, these Bengal people, even if they lose wealth, they will not lose their attachment to fish. Hearing that poem, he just came and hugged Kavyakanta Ganapati Muni. Because that was very beautiful. There is no fight or anything. So, this example of fish Ramakrishna gives. He says the fish, it lives in water, it lives in mud, it lives in dirt, but nothing sticks to it. It is very clean, very clear. It will be shining. Like that is a knower, a jnani. He lives in world, he lives in samsara unattached, completely free. That is possible for a jivan mukta, a knower of Brahman. So this is possible. So when that knowledge is not there, people will get bound in the world. So when you see that death is there, the mind, when it is bahirmukha, you get into trouble. So to remove that, Bhagavan tells Uddhava, this is Maya, or this is Nashvara. It will all come to end. Know this. Don't get attached to anything. Pumso ayuktasya nanartho brahmaha sa gunadosha bhag. These are all profound Vedanta here. Pumso ayuktasya nanartho brahmaha sa gunadosha bhag. Karma karma vikarmeti gunadosha dhiyo bhida. When the mind is not established in the self, duality will be seen. Dvaita prapancha will be seen, and Brahma, the illusion, will be there. So, the mind should be kept in the heart. Yuktendriya gramaha yukta chittaha idam jagad atmani ikshasva vitatam atmanam mai adhishvare. So, Bhagavan says, Uddhava, you look at the world as the Atman. See that the world is an appearance in the Atman. It arises in the Atman, stays in the Atman, and subsides in the Atman. Only the true self, which is shining forth in you as pure awareness, it is the truth. In it the world arises. It stays there and goes back. Know the Atma Tattva. Keep the mind in the self. Don't get deluded by the appearances. So, Jnana Vijnana Sanyuktaha, first you get this knowledge. Perfect knowledge of Atma Tattva by Vedanta Shravana. Then do Manana, then do Nididhyasana, then you get the experience, Anubhuti. That is Vijnana. Ramakrishna used to say, Jnana is one thing, Vijnana is another thing. Jnana means knowledge of the self. Vijnana means Anubhuti. Somebody has seen that Brahma Sagara from a distance. He is a jnani. And Vijnani has taken a dive in it. He is drunk deep in that. He has experienced it very deeply. So that is Vijnani. So Jnana Vijnana Sanyuktaha Atma Bhuta Sharirinam. He is the Atma of everybody. He is Sarva Bhutatma. Atma Anubhava Tushtatma. He finds great contentment in his self-experience, Atmanubhuti. Nantara, nothing can obstruct his experience now. Nobody can obstruct, no bondage at all. That is, you can see in Ramakrishna's life, the secret of it. When you see everything as Atman, you can call it Atman, you can call it Brahman, you can call it Bhagavan, you can call it Divine Mother. Ramakrishna first attained that Anubhuti when Totapuri taught him. He got established there, and after that what did he do? Samadarshitva. So everyone, he saw them as Divine Mother's manifestation. Somebody told, see, there is a lady who is coming, she is not of a good character. That very moment Ramakrishna looked at her and he entered into samadhi. He says later on, the moment I saw her, I saw Divine Mother Sita there. And when Sharada Devi came, Sharada Devi, Ramakrishna was married those days, it was all Kanyakadanam. Very young days they get married. And after, when she turned 16 or 17, she came to Dakshineshwar. But when she came, people thought that Ramakrishna will not accept her. But Ramakrishna accepted her and looked at her as Divine Mother. He looked at her as Divine Mother. That too, first he said to Sharada Devi, see, I want only this spiritual life, this divine life. But you have every right to ask me for a worldly life. So if you wish that, I can I will be like an ordinary person. But what is there in the world? Everything will come to an end. It is all not nityam. So if you can also support this life, that will be great. And Sharada Devi said, I have not come to pull you down. I have only come to serve you. Then you know, what did he do? He just kept her as Jagaddatri, as Bhavatarini and did puja to her. Vidyas samastaha tava devi bhedaha striyas samasta sakala jagatsu ya devi sarvabhuteshu matru rupena samstita. Seeing Divine Mother in her, no renunciation. The true renunciation, first you give up everything only to learn this secret of accepting everything as God. The only way you can renounce the world is by seeing God there. Tyagaha. What is Tyaga? Tyagav prapancha rupasya brahmatmatva avalokanat tyago hi mahatam pujyah sadyo mokshamayo viduhu. The real Tyaga is, you see something as divine, you have given up that person or that thing as that thing. Because you see it as divine. You don't see it as a woman or a man or someone to whom you can get bound by attachment or aversion. The moment you see it as divine, you are free. Actually, Krishna, the very first Upadesha of Krishna is that. When he appeared in the prison, he told Vasudeva and Devaki, last 2 births I was your son. But you didn't get liberation because you looked at me only as son. As Prishni, Garbha and Vamana, they were the parents. So here Bhagavan says, this Janma, I will give you a secret. You need not give up attachment. You get attached to me. You look at me as your son, but add to it, I am Bhagavan, I am Brahman. That also you can add. Yuvam mam putra bhavena brahma bhavena cha asakrichintayantau kritasneho yasyete madgatim param. This attachment, it is an energy. When you have attachment to somebody, you simply say it is all Brahman. You look at a beautiful mountain from distance, see, this is very divine. Because no other connection to the mountain. But you buy 1 acre land in that mountain, from distance you look at the mountain, you will see only that 1 acre. You will say, that tree there, that is my place. So this mamata is the problem. So when you give up the mamata, either give up the mamata or look at it as divine. So divine, that vision will not come so easily, you have to train. Asakrichintayantau. Again and again and again, avarti. Avartirupade asakrudupadeshad. Again and again and again, you look at all the names and forms and tell that it is divine. Divine Mother is inside. It is Bhagavan who is inside. Like that. This was Ramakrishna's method. He taught this to many. And Swami Vivekananda has given talks on this also, where he says, the way to renounce the world is to look at it as Atman, as divine, as God. So this is true renunciation. No hatred, no attachment. One lady came to Ramakrishna and said, I want to go to Vrindavan and worship, do sadhana, but I am attached to my grandchild. Ramakrishna said, no problem. See that child as Krishna. Dress him like Krishna and start worshipping him. After some time he will grow big. But your Krishna will stay in your heart. So this is the secret of sadhana. The way you have to find ways and means to transcend the world by seeing the world as divine. This is Bhagavata Dharma, Anvikshiki Vidya. This Vidya is called Anvikshiki Vidya. Anvikshigim alarkaya prahladadibhya uchivan. This is the secret of Prahlada also. When Hiranyakashipu in his rage was roaring, Prahlada was very calm, very mild. He was looking at even Hiranyakashipu as divine. He was not affected Because for him, even Narasimha, Hiranyakashipu, everything is divine for him. So that kind of Sarvatma Bhava. This Bhagavan says, look at everything as Atman, then nothing will create trouble for you. But if you look at anything other than Atman, that will become a danger for you. Vipat. Actually here Bhagavan says, it is vipat, it is danger. Because it will bind you. The moment you see it as divine, you will be free. That is what Ramakrishna did when he saw Sharda Devi as Divine Mother. Instead of getting bound by samsara, he became free. So looking at everyone as divine, So that was done by Ramakrishna. Dosha buddhya ubhayatito nishedhanna nivartate gunabuddhya cha vihitam na karoti yatharbhaka. Once you have this knowledge, you are like a child, arbhaka. Pandityam nirvidya balyena tishtased. After this knowledge, the person becomes so free like a child. He will just, Ramakrishna was like that. He will be moving about like a child, playing like a child. Sometimes nakedly he will be moving about, chanting the name of Divine Mother. So, yatha arbhagaha, like a child. And the jnani, the last verse here, now Krishna says, Uddhava, you wander about as a Jivan Mukta, as a jnani. For you, everyone is your friend. Sarvabhuta suhrit shantaha jnana vijnana nishayaha pashyan madatmakam vishvam na vipadyeta vai punaha. Very, very profound shloka actually this. Each shloka only if we take and meditate we will understand. Sarvabhuta suhrit. A jnani is a Sarvabhuta suhrit. Bhagavan is also Sarvabhuta suhrit. In Gita, Krishna says, Suhridam sarvalokanam jnatvamam shanti mrichyati. When you know me as your friend, you will attain peace, shanti. So here, Bhagavan says, Uddhava, you also become the friend of all. No difference. No one is separate for you. No one is anya, another for you. You belong, everyone is yours. When Swami Vivekananda went to West, he had no person to introduce him. He found everyone as his friend. He considered everyone as his friend. That was the method. As we said about Ramatirtha yesterday. So, Sarva Bhuta Suhrit. In fact, Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi, we have seen, he was a friend of monkeys, he was a friend of peacock, he was friend of dogs, he was friend of deer, even a crow, everything considered, even the squirrels. All this, one day there was an attendant for Maharshi, Madhava Swami. He was a very good attendant. One day, a bird was sitting right in front of Ramana Bhagavan and making so much noise. And Bhagavan was looking at it. Oh, apadiya, apadiya. He was asking, oh, is it that so? To that bird. And some devotee asked Bhagavan, what are you speaking to it? No, she is giving me complaint that she has made a nest here and Madhava has removed it. And she is giving complaint to me. So this is it. So they were all friends. The squirrels were very close to him. The monkeys, many dogs. One dog will come and sit like any other meditator in his room. And it will sit only in an ochre robe. It was a sannyasi. Many animals, they all behaved with him like friends, like equal. Lakshmi, the famous, very well-known cow. Every day she will come, she will put her face in Maharshi's tummy, He will just hug her and they will go for a walk. Every day she should get idli. One day, you know what? So many new devotees came, so the breakfast idli was closed over. So they thought, after all, Lakshmi cannot tell Bhagavan. So he will not come to know. Lakshmi went to Maharshi and told everything. We don't know what language. She went to him and said, and then Maharshi called the that Sarvadhikari, they used to call him as Niranjanananda Swami. Call him. He came. Why you didn't give idli to Lakshmi? Solludta. Yes, did she tell you? Yes. Do you think she cannot speak? She speaks much more clearly than us. And then, he said, there will be idli kept for, there was a Mauni Sadhu. For him some idli will be there. Give some upma to him. She will not go otherwise from here. So bring that idli, let her eat. So Sarvabhuta Suhrit is a friend of all. Nobody is an anya. Sarvabhuta Suhrit Shantah. That Shanti is Sahaja Nirvikalpa Sthiti. That Jnanam is Shanti. Sarvabhuta Suhrit Shantah Jnana Vijnana Nishayaha Pashyan Madatmakam Vishwam. Looking at the entire world as Bhagavadatmakam, as Vishwam Vishnu. The first Nama in Vishnu Sahasranama, Vedanta is over. Vishwam, over. Only that. Vishwasmai Namaha. Vishwam, the very name Vishatehe, Praveshanat. As Acharya Swami gives the Bhashyam, Vish, that dhatu means to enter. Tat srishtva tadevanupravishat tadanupravishya satchatyacha bhavat niruktancha niruktancha nilayanancha nilayanancha vijnanancha vijnanancha satyanjanatancha satyam abhavat. Upanishad says he entered all the names and forms and he became good, bad, beautiful, ugly, everything he became. Everything he became and is shining forth as world. So this very world is Narayana Swarupa. Idam hi Vishwam Bhagavan. So Vishwasmai Namaha. This is Vishwam is Vishnu. So when you know Pashyan, when you see the world as Bhagavan, you don't need to close your eyes for Samadhi. With open eyes it is Samadhi. With your eyes open, it is Samadhi. Whoever you see, it is Samadhi. Seeing the world as God, seeing, that is what Swami Vivekananda used to say. More and more we work, we will become tired. But in America, they found that the more and more he worked, he was becoming more and more radiant, more and more luminous. Then he told one of his devotees, disciples, he said, sister, I have found a secret, that seeing everyone as divine. No bondage. So the work is not work, it is real spiritual practice. The more and more, that is the secret of a Jivan Mukta. During Kartike Deepam, Tiruvannamalai will be very crowded. Now Tiruvannamalai is crowded every day. But those days, only for Kartikeya Deepam, crowd will come. And mostly the villagers, very poor people, they will come. And most of the ponds, the Thirthas around Arunachala will be filled. Due to the rain, it will be all full. And these devotees, these poor people, they will take a dip in every pond. Perhaps they have not taken a dip for months. So they will come, take a dip in every pond, wet, sometimes stinking also. They will come to ashram, ashram will be wet, and they will come to Maharshi, they will touch him. And he will speak to them, he will inquire about their family, about their details, because he knew many of them. Only later on, all other people from other places started coming. So those who are known to him, he will speak. But the ashram authorities, they felt it is great disturbance for Maharshi, because these people are constantly coming and so much dirt is there. They will go near him also with so much dirty clothes. So with good intention, according to them, they cannot tell Maharshi, we will have a time, only in that time you will have darshan, or there is a distance. We cannot tell that. He will not listen to it. So they struck upon a plan. When he went to do walk in the hill, they told one attendant, another attendant was there, Krishna Swami. He was a very strong-tongued person, very rough-tongued person. I have seen him and spoken to him. So they told him, when Bhagavan has gone for a walk, you just please that railings, there is a railing there, keep it in a distance, so that there will be a distance between devotees and him. They will come in a distance and go. So he put the railings in a distance. And Maharshi came from the hill and he saw Krishna Swami, what have you done? He told Bhagavan, the authorities, the office people have told me to do this. Put the railings there. See, Maharshi never considered the ashram belongs to him. So he will obey the office. But at the same time, his stand also should be clear. So he said, oh, you have done what the office people told. Yes, now please do what I am telling. Put my sofa there. He didn't say remove it. He said put my couch there. Then Krishna Swami said, see, whatever I have done, everything will go waste, Bhagavan. Bhagavan said, do you think all these poor people are coming and Swami is giving darshan? No. You know who are they? They are all Arunachala Swarupam. They are all forms of the divine. And we should have darshan of them. For that only we are sitting there. Not that they are getting darshan. That is the Amrita Drishti of Jnani. Jnani looks at you as divine, so you also feel that for the time being. When Ramakrishna looked at Swami Vivekananda as a youngster, as a youth, when he went, he did puja to Narendra. He said, you are Narayana. You have come for the well-being of the world. Like that he worshipped him. And Narendra thought this priest is mad. He is blabbering something. But Ramakrishna looked at him as divine and woke the divine in him. See, in Bhagavata, before Shruti Gita, there is a thing where Parikshit asks, how do the Jnani teach the Nirguna Brahma to an unknowing person? Shukacharya says, he will not directly teach, he will wake up the divine from within to receive. That is what he does. He just, from outside he is giving the knowledge, from within he awakens the viveka, the buddhi shakti, intelligence from the heart to receive the teaching also. Then the knowledge attains fruition, completion. So that is the secret, that first Ramakrishna did puja to Narendra. He said, you are Narayana, you have the Nara Rishi, you are the Nara Rishi. Like that he did. So here Krishna says, Uddhava, you become friend of all with firm knowledge of this Atma Tattva. Move about in the world, seeing the world as my form. Now be free. No more danger to you. Because seeing duality is danger. Having any attachment or aversion, you will get bound. Yavan nanatvam tavat aswatantriyam. Yavan nanatvam tavad aswatantriyam. This is Bhagavata. As long as you have plurality, you are not free. So when you see everything, ekameva advitiyam nehana nasti kinchana, look at everything as one, non-dual, then you are absolutely free in that state. Abiding in your own glory, move about absolutely free, says Krishna. When Bhagavan told this, Uddhava was looking at Krishna with awe, that figure radiant, shining forth like a blue jewel, and compassion overflowing. Uddhava's eyes were full of tears. He could not utter anything for some time. He was looking at Krishna. He could not grasp the teaching completely. Narayana Bhattacharya also condenses the entire teaching till this part in one shloka, in Narayaniyam. He says, Bandhusneham vijahyam tavahi karunaya त्वयि उपावेशितात्मा सर्वं त्यक्त्वा चरेयं सकलमपि जगद्वीक्ष्य मायाविलासं नानात्वात् भ्रान्तिजन्यात् सति खलु गुणदोषावबोधे विधिर्वा व्यासेधो वा कथं तौ त्वयि निहितमतेः Vita Vaishamya Buddhe. He was a great Vaiyakarana. So he just condensed the entire, all the slokas in one sloka. Like that he did with Bhagavad Gita also. He condensed the entire Bhagavad Gita in one sloka. Jishno Tvam Krishna Sutaha Khalu Samaramukhe Bandhughade Dayalum Khinnam Tam Vikshya Viram किमिदम अयि सखे नित्य एकोऽयम् आत्मा को वध्यः कोऽत्र हन्ता तदिह वधभियं प्रोज्यमय्यर्पितात्मा धर्म्यं युद्धं चरेति प्रकृतिमनयथाः दर्शयन् विश्वरूपं. One shloka, entire Gita Sara. Like that here also he says, Guruvayurappa, give me that wisdom by which I will look at the entire world as divine. I will transcend all attachment to worldly things and I will move about absolutely free without any dualistic movements in my mind. Give me that state. This is the prayer that Bhattacharya, the teaching is taken and made as a prayer. So there Krishna gave this Upadesha. Uddhava did a Sashtanga Namaskara. With tears in his eyes, the whole body shivering with emotion. Ityadishto Bhagavata Mahabhagavato Nrupa Uddhava Pranipatyaha Tattvajitnyasuhu Achyutam. Mahabhagavata. Who is Uddhava? He is Mahabhagavata. Mahabhagavata means the great devotee, great bhakta. Ityadishto Bhagavata. Bhagavan gave him this adesha, this upadesha. Mahabhagavato Nripa, that great Mahabhagavata, Pranipatya, he did a namaskar, a surrender, a sashtanga namaskar. And just bowing, prostrating before Krishna and with love, he said, Tattva Jitnyasu. He is longing for the knowledge of Tattva Jnana, for that Tattva Jnana. As a Jitnyasu, as an inquisitive mind, for knowing Tattvam. Tattvam Jnatum Icha. That is the fruition. You know, you have done dharma, you have done puja, you have done japam, you have done dana. Where will all this take? All this will take you to a state where the longing for divine will arise in you. That is the state. Bhagavata begins like that. You have done dharma, it should take you there. You have completed your karma, it should show that you move towards spiritual life. Many people will say, we don't want all this spiritual life, this Bhagavata, japa. Our mind should be pure, that is all. Everybody thinks that their mind is very pure. The sign of purity is that the inquiry will arise. The moment the mind is pure, because all sadhanas are only for purifying the mind. When the mind is pure, the inquisitiveness, jijnasa, question will arise, who am I? What is my real nature? Or in the form of faith it will arise. I want to see God. I want to realize God. I want Bhagavat Sakshatkara. That kind of intuitive movement will start within. A kind of meditative movement will start. Dharmasya hi apavargyasya nartho arthayopakalpate narthasya dharmaikantasya kamo labhaya hi smritaha kamasya nendriya puritir labho jiveta yavata jivasya tattva jijnasa na artho yasyeha karma bhihi. All these four purusharthas find fruition in tattva jijnasa. You want to know Tattvam, Tattvajnana. And what is the Tattvam? It is Brahman, it is Atman, it is Bhagavan, it is Paramatma. It is Advayam Jnanam. Vadanti tat Tattvavidaha Yajnanam Advayam. Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti Shabdyate. This verse already we have told. So this Tattva Jijnasa arose in Uddhava. See, in Bhagavad Gita also, Arjuna had Vishada. We also have Vishada. Vishada means depression. Sometimes you have depression. Your mind becomes very stressed, depressed. But it is not becoming yoga. You have Vishada, no Vishada yoga. Vishada becomes yoga by Bhagavad Kripa. Just now I spoke about Bhattadri. He had Vata Roga, disease. And he says that in the form of disease, Bhagavan came to my life. He rogaha nanu yuyameva suhritaha. Because of this disease, I had vairagya, I wanted the sakshatkara, bhakti. So sometimes by Bhagavan's grace, our depression, despondency will turn us towards the divine. Then that depression becomes depression yoga. Not simply Raja Yoga or Jnana Yoga. Depression is also yoga. So Bhagavad Gita starts with depression yoga. No, Kripaya Paraya Vishtaha Vishidan Nidam Abravid. When Arjuna was possessed by that wrongly placed compassion towards his relatives. That is how they are translating. But I always feel Kripaya Paraya Vishtaha means Arjuna was possessed by Bhagavad Kripa. Otherwise, how will he get Bhagavad Gita? His Vishada was Bhagavad Kripa. Krishna planted Vishada in him. It is not Arjuna's Vishada actually, because he has fought many wars before. Only in this war he broke down. And that too, when he entered the war field, he said, Senayor Ubhayor Madhye Ratham Sthapayame Achyuta. You can see confidence in him there. Krishna took the chariot, placed it just before Bhishma and Drona, the right place, and then put some mantra on Arjuna. Only one word Krishna says there. He said, Parthapashya. Only that much. Uvacha Parthapashyetan Samavetan Kuruniti. One word, some magic he did, Arjuna collapsed. Such a confident person collapsed. And that is Bhagavad Kripa. Kripaya Paraya Vishtaha. Great Kripa possessed him. Because of that, he did not stop in Vishada. He said, Karpanya dosha upahata swabhavaha prachami tvam dharma sammuda chetaha yachrayasyan nishitam bruhitan me shishyasteham shadhyumam tvam prapannam. I surrender to you, O Lord. You are my Guru. I am your disciple. Teach me, give me that knowledge by which I will be free. This is Kripa. You have depression. People, sometimes they get addicted to depression. They have depression, they will go on telling everybody their depression, and people will like lizard, they will, and so many places you get this, you feel sympathy, happy. Tell this person, that person, and that sympathy, you are happy. That depression is not becoming yoga. Depression can become yoga. Grief can become yoga. Sorrow can become yoga. Many, many great saints were born from just like lotus blooms in slush. Like that, only in the field of deep sorrow, spiritual lotus will blossom. Without that, true vairagya will not come. You will not know that the world is impermanent, transient. Otherwise, there will be some doubt. Something I have left out. Something I have not enjoyed in the world. That will be lingering inside. When you have that blazing fire everywhere, you are ready to sit in the center, where there is coolness, where there is shanti, where there is peace. So then you are ready for that. That is why Uddhava found a little bit of attachment to the Yadava race was remaining. That too Krishna cleared. He said, in 7 days it will all come to an end. The Dwaraka itself will go underwater. Uddhava, so don't keep any bit of attachment anywhere. Be free and ready to listen to the knowledge. Because any attachment, you will have one dosha, one flaw, anyabhinivesha. Mind will be going there. You will not listen. So clear the field and listen. Now I will give you the teaching. So here Uddhava as a tattva jijnasu, very beautiful prayer. He is telling Krishna, give me that teaching. O Yogesha, Yoga Vinyasa, Yogatman, Yoga Sambhava, Nishreyasaya me prokta, Tyaga Sannyasa Lakshana. You have given me sannyasa, but I do not deserve that, O Lord. You are the Lord of yoga. You are yoga. You are the Yogeshwara. You are the goal of yoga. So give me that knowledge by which I can have that tyaga in my life. Tyagoyam dushkaro bhuman kamanam vishayatmabhi. It is difficult to renounce. Arjuna was ready to renounce. Uddhava is afraid to renounce. Only such people you can believe, because they know what they are into. So here Uddhava says, give me that power. By your grace only I can renounce, not by my power. So give me that teaching by which Bhagavan, I will become your bhakta. So these things that we will see tomorrow evening. The same time we will continue Uddhava Gita. Satyam jnanamanantam nityamanakasham paramakasham goshtha prangana ringana lolamanayasam paramayasam vaya kalpita nanakaram bhuvanakaram Shmamanathamanatham pranamata Govindam Paramanandam Govindam Paramanandam Bhaja Govindam Paramanandam Govindam Paramanandam Bhaja Govindam Paramanandam Yato mamatma bhavasi tveva Tato navachyam mama kinchitasti yathata veshtam kurumam tatheva tvam atmanatham ramanam bhajami sarvatra govindanama sankirtanam janaki kanta smaranam hara namah parvati pataye hara hara mahadeva Jai Ram Krishna.